So the natural progression of a child's movement and our basic stability goes from rolling over, crawling, to kneeling. So the next exercise in our sequence of level 1 stability is going to be the chop and lift. Okay? So now I'm moving into this standing up position. I went from rolling over to getting on all fours to kneeling. But as I raise from the earth and I become taller, I have more leverage and therefore I need more stability, and I have to begin once again to integrate the muscles that run horizontally or transversely across the body. So connecting my shoulder to the opposite hip through all the rotational tissues. So here, you're going to need to find a high anchor point. Once again, I don't expect you to have the fancy stretch bands that we use, but a normal rubber band with a D-ring can be closed over a door. Make sure you're safe. Don't have that snap back and break and hit you. So that you're just pulling a resistance from a high angle. Okay? I have this ultra anchor that I got off of Amazon. Makes your door look a little funny, but provides a lot of anchor points for all the rehab exercises that we do. So I'm going to do a high knee. My raised knee is going to be closer to the anchor point, okay? Because I don't want to chop into my leg, I want to chop over my leg. The band should be pretty strong to add resistance. If you don't have a really high resistance band, I can move myself further away to increase the tension on the band and therefore increase the resistance, okay? So I'll start off and I'll show you a couple different ways of doing this because you can really get a lot out of it by changing your position and the angle of the anchor. So you'll do this on both sides. Low knee away from the anchor, high knee on the other side. I start at the corner of my shoulder, 2 hands, and I'm simply going to pull this band across my body. As I do this, this band is trying to pull me towards it, but I'm locking my body with rotational stability to resist that rotation. So I come down, I go 1, I take a breath in, come back, 2. What I want you to be aware of is how much wiggling or jostling you're doing here in the hips or in the knees or in the foot. Notice this foot is, top of the foot is down. I'm not creating a false tension by flexing my foot and creating that angle, okay? So foot's always down. Now, if this is relatively easy for the chop, which is a great way to integrate the shoulder back into the torso and the hip, I'm going to add this to it. And once again, you don't need this fancy rubber band. You can do this just on the band you have. Just bring it down. This hand is not going behind me. It's not a tricep exercise. It's going to my hip. And then this hand, I'm going to push out in my heart. Okay, so heart level. Now this created more rotation, right? I'm getting a stronger pull this way, but my body is firing down, connecting this fascial chain into the hip, connecting me to the earth. Okay, so if this is real easy for you, I can do it this way. Okay, if you happen to have a TRX bat, you could do this with a pole and bring the whole pole down. All getting different levels of strength in the same stability exercise. Okay, so this is the chop. 1, you'll always see me generally do it like this. 2, breathe. I'm not hiking my shoulders. My shoulders are always down and back, packed into my torso. Okay, I'll give you some from the other side. I'll just pivot. High knee to the anchor, low knee away from the anchor. Basic version, head stays straight. Keep the spine straight. More advanced version. Okay, that's the chop. Okay, we finished with the chop, and now we're going to go in the opposite direction. We're going to lift. The lift will be performed with the high side away, low knee towards the anchor. So I'm going to get my leg out of the way here. So this is a little more difficult for you to create because you have to have a low anchor point, but if you happen to have a low door and you can shut your cord in and it's tight enough, you got to create a decent amount of resistance to go from a low point, so it should come from my lower body, and I'm going up across to the shoulder, okay? So, once again, if I just have a basic rubber band, I can always move away to create more resistance. I keep my legs just like I was walking. I don't want to create any strange angles. Top of the foot is down. Spine tall, head up, looking straight ahead. I go from this low corner of my box, my body's frame, and I come up. Okay? So once again, if I had two handles, if I wanted to loop around something and do it low, I could have two handles and just press them up, okay? Use your creativity. Down. Up. Down. As I mentioned with the chop, you can change your relative position to the anchor point and change the angle of resistance, which will really be more complete. And I can change this to where I'm 90 degrees, 100, I just simply rotate and do this at the gym until I just get to about where the band is going behind me, okay? Then I'm at the end. It doesn't do me any good. I don't want the band to be directly behind me, okay? So, but the fundamental is going to be right here, 90 degree to my line of resistance from the low corner, upper corner, breathe, okay? Once again, notice this shoulder stays down and anchored into the frame of my body, packed shoulder. I'm not bringing the shoulder up, I'm not hiking. I'm just coming up to my shoulder. Okay? Look, not here. Here, relaxed. The minute you start breaking the natural plane of the body, this is a weak position. This is where you get that tension in your levator and your trapezius and that chronic tension that you get working at a desk, okay? So you want to be aware of that. That concludes the lift.